Hello and welcome to Swaraj Standard. Last month, two surveys of India's National Statistical Office or NSO, which now comes under the Central Statistics Office, were junked because of the so-called data quality issues. The two surveys were the Periodic Labour Force Survey 2017 and 18 and the Consumer Expenditure Survey 2017 and 18. Now these two surveys threw up pretty much identical results that were inconsistent with other administrative statistics. Over the time, there has been a growing divergence between India's official national accounts data on the one hand and the Consumption Expenditure Survey on the other since the 1980s, and this divergence has only increased significantly from the time of early 2000s. Now, we have come to a point where the 2017 survey has displayed the highest divergence, not just in the estimates but also in the direction of the change. For example, if you take the Periodic Labour Force Survey shows a decline in country's urbanization and a record low capture of India's population. In the same way, the Consumer Expenditure Survey, or you may call it CES, suggests a decline in consumption which is even more outlandish as evident from other sources of data. Now, the National Statistical Commission is likely to address some of these concerns in the coming weeks, but let's get this straight. It is really important to have a good statistical system in place. Now why? Because several economic decisions in this country taken by the government or the RBI are definitely dependent on these periodic data. Now you don't want critical economic decisions to be made on faulty grounds. So the important matter here is with regards to this failing quality of sample surveys in India. If you recall or have read in the past, we were pretty good at it, almost paving the way for it under PC Mahalanobis. The lengthy questionnaires of the NSO, the older sampling frameworks, the reliance on different statistical sources are responsible for the divergence. For instance, the CES has over 500 questions with the service sector module towards the end of it. The NSO's, the CES's estimates of expenditure on health and education are less compared to its own focused surveys on estimates of expenditure on health and education. This shows how lengthy questionnaires result in a significant respondent fatigue, leading us to a point of erroneous results. Similarly, the failure of the NSO to look at improved data sources with greater credibility results in further divergence from other official series and administrative data. Now, there is a need, therefore, for an in-house smell test before any report is prepared or even discussed for that matter, so as to ensure a rigorous review of the findings of each and every survey in this country. The NSO is still the same organization as it was in the 1980s, and its survey modules, sampling techniques, and data sources need to be overhauled to make it a modern-day sample survey organization. Why? Because these surveys provide us with critical insights in terms of economic development of the country. With the advent of reliable administrative data such as the EPFO database on payroll employment statistics and the GSTN data, which help in understanding itemized consumption of goods and services across the region, the NSS has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to yet again leapfrog and emerge as pioneers in statistical collection and dissemination. But what would that require? It would definitely require a rigorous review of the current databases, including the MCA, and making them public to researchers for consultation purposes. Now the goal should be to incorporate these data into our existing sampling frameworks and ensure consistency across different samples. Now, doing so will definitely yield rich dividends over the next couple of months and will significantly improve India's public policy decisions.